Behind the Score, the inside stories from Hollywood's greatest filmmakers and composers.
During the making of Score, a film music documentary, we heard from lots of people about a sometimes sensitive subject, the use of temping and temp scores. That's when directors use existing pieces of music, often written by a different composer for a different film, that the director uses in editing before the score is written.
The default tends to be cliches.
That's film music agent Richard Kraft, who hears temp music a lot.
One of the goals of the score is to give it energy and pace. So if you're doing a movie that's going to involve action in a futuristic landscape, they're going to probably stick music in from Inception. So then the composer goes, do I follow that lead or do I ignore it and run counter to it? I went to a screening of Beetlejuice early on and tested horribly because at its core, people did not understand even what type of movie they were watching. Then Danny Elfman's music came in, especially the main title. And by the time the movie starts, the audience now knows how to respond to what's going on.
The whole temp thing has changed everything. It really has. And the smart political thing to say is, I'm okay with the temps.
Golden Globe-nominated composer Christopher Young says temp music is hard for a composer to unhear, stealing away a little bit of the composer's creativity.
How much of it am I supposed to latch on to, and how much of it I'm just supposed to absorb the essence of?
It can influence in a good way, in a bad way.
Oscar-winning composer Rachel Portman says the temp can get in the way.
In my sort of coming on board nerves, I sort of worry that I'm going to be able to do something that's good. But then after a bit, I think, well, actually, it isn't right. This is going to be better. I find what I think is probably a more authentic way for the music to work in the film, which is as it should be, because I am writing music which is specifically tailored to the film. So I'm able to sort of pinpoint more accurately what's needed.
Of course, the temp makes the director more comfortable, and I want the director to be more comfortable. In the dream world, I would have always have preferred the opportunity to see the film for the first time without temp. So I can go home and at least for one evening think about the film without any music and where is my brain going.
It's kind of painful when you see somebody's music kind of hijacked.
That's Oscar-nominated composer John Powell.
That unique voice being hijacked and so blithely by other people. And I know I've been there. I think they think that that's what film music sounds like. And they've just never really made the association that it's not just film music, it's actually Thomas Newman's film music. And maybe I shouldn't do that. Maybe I should think of my own language for that.
I told you this was a sensitive subject for composers. Christopher Young says, in his opinion, the best temp score is no score at all.
There are a handful of films in which the director could not find a temp that was working. And I must say, those scores have turned out to be some of my favorite scores.
For more stories behind the score, read Score, The Interviews, based on the international hit film Score, a film music documentary featuring raw insight from Hans Zimmer, James Cameron, Quincy Jones, Randy Newman, Trent Reznor, and many more. Score, The Interviews, available now at score-movie.com.